Hi, I'm Tara and today we will be popping in for a session with famous poet Jez Walsh. Could you just start by telling us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, my name's Jez Walsh. I'm a writer, performance poet and broadcaster, don't you know? And I go around schools, theatres, festivals, I do TV, radio work, basically just encouraging people to pick up a book and start reading. That's what I'm about.
Why did you first start writing poetry and how old were you when you wrote your first poem?
I first started writing poetry about 11 years ago, and I first started writing, so I must have been about 21, 22 at the time. Yeah. And I started writing because my son Lee's dyslexic, and all the poems I started writing were all for Lee.
How do you get your inspiration for your poetry?
That's easy. It's everything that people say and everything that people do. So be careful, because everybody I've met today might end up in a poem. You might have said something, you might do something, and I'll log it, and then somewhere down in the future I'll write it up and you'll become famous.
What is your personal favourite poem?
My personal favourite poem that I've written is The Spot on My Bum, because without that I would have never have started off.
Did you enjoy the talk with Jez Walsh?
Yes, it was very entertaining and he was a very funny person.
It was very funny and he had very good interaction with kids.
My favourite part of the talk was when we all got soaked because I like getting wet.
Why do you think poetry is important to the Year 6's education?
Poetry is it's in small little snippets. They don't have to read a whole book to understand what you're trying to say. And you can use humour, you can be really, really serious. You can actually, there's some poems I have that can actually make people cry and make people stop and think. There are poems that scare people. If you saw in the performance I did, we have the story that scares the life out of people. And it can make people really, really happy. So that's why poetry is really, really accessible for people.
Have you read any of Jez Walsh's poetry before?
I haven't read any of his poetry before, but I'm looking forward to reading some later.
I haven't read any and I'm hoping to buy some when it's out soon.
Stood there with his arm in the air, waggling his bum like he just didn't care, flapped his arm just like a chicken, bobbed his head, then he started cooking.
I don't know about you, but I found that hilarious. This is Tara Gordon reporting for SMC News.